So to recap, this is part 2 of the girl in the red fedora and how you can tell people don't have a soul by looking in their eyes. And we're going to follow it up with Tim Pool and how he's the opposite. And just to recap, if you want to watch the video of the original from last night, it's the girl in the red fedora. I will link it in a tile at the end of this video. But basically, it's about how I met a girl and how another girl saw this girl, and we both realized that we had a weird sixth sense, like dog thing, like where a dog barks at a blank corner or an empty wall of a room and there's something going on. Well, both of us had this same feeling about this girl, and it freaked us out. And that's what the video from last night was about, called NPCs and People with No Souls, the girl in the red fedora. Watch it. That's kind of like the prequel to this video. So we're going to watch this, and this is how Tim Pool goes the opposite way. And we actually see in his eyes that there is actually a person there. He's not an NPC. Tim Pool is one of my favorites, if not my favorite YouTuber. Living in West Virginia, living the dream, and just let's watch this. This is how he deals with a complete hypocrite, and how we know Tim Pool is a good guy. And this is part 2, and this is where Tim responds to this creepy douchebag who tries to turn the tables on him and make him creepy. And the way Tim responds, and I'll pause it, and that's the only time I'm going to pause it. I'm not going to keep pausing and talking over this, but when Tim says, "That was really weird," that's when I knew Tim was a good guy. He was one of us. He's a good fella. So let's just watch it right now.
You want to know what I think? I think there is a transgenocide.
Okay.
And I think it's you.
Okay.
Because you're sterilizing a lot of these people.
How so?
I mean, they're literally sterilizing them. The surgery to remove the gonads, hysterectomies, and puberty and cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers have a high rate of sterilization. I mean, first of all, removal of the gonads in the uterus is an absolute sterilization. And then puberty blockers have a very high rate, and cross-sex hormones have an extremely high rate of sterilizing the individual. So these people can no longer reproduce. That's genocide.
Is this the joke you're going to go for?
Joke?
That's the first part. When he's joke, that really hit me. I mean, that's an authentic reaction from Tim right there. He is so flabbergasted that this douchebag, "Is that the joke you're going for?" Swig his water. And the way he blinks and opens his eyes and he looks at him with that condescending douchebag look. And Tim's like, "Joke?" And let's go on. But we haven't even gotten to the Jazz Jennings part yet, the really good part here. Let's watch.
You are removing these people's ability to reproduce. Mm. And if they're at a young age and they haven't had the ability, like for instance, Jazz Jennings can never have kids. Jazz Jennings also, and this probably part of your studies, can't actually feel any sexual feeling of any kind.
Do you have any idea how weird this sounds right now? Like, why are you obsessing with a stranger's genital pleasure? That's so weird. That's so bizarre.
That was very weird yourself.
Right there. That was very weird. And I'm going to play it again. We're going to come back. We're going to play this again. When this douchebag with the creepy eyes says he's being weird, and Tim comes back and says, "That was really weird." That hit home so hard. Tim's being so authentic here, and this guy's being such a fucking douchebag and trying to make Tim be weird because he's concerned about Jazz Jennings or thousands of kids getting their genitals cut off, and this guy's going to turn it around to be Tim being weird. This is when Tim comes and just turns it around and makes me realize Tim's got chickens, by the way. He lives in West Virginia. I'm not trying to dox him, but he'll tell you he lives in West Virginia. He grows chickens. He's a homesteader. This place he's in right now is his place. It's been swatted, meaning the SWAT team has been called on him 15 times in the year 2022, okay? This guy's out in the mountains doing his own thing, and he has conservatives, he's got liberals, and, you know, he's middle of the road, and this guy comes on. And the way Tim just said that, I'm going to replay it, we're going to do it again, and then I'm going to summarize why Tim is not an NPC and not one of these people with no souls in their eyes, and here we go again.
These people can no longer reproduce. That's genocide.
Is this the joke you're going to go for?
Joke? You are removing these people's ability to reproduce.
Mm.
And if they're at a young age and they haven't had the ability, like for instance, Jazz Jennings can never have kids. Jazz Jennings also, and this probably part of your studies, can't actually feel any sexual feeling of any kind.
Do you have any idea how weird this sounds right now? Like, why are you obsessing with a stranger's genital pleasure? That's so weird. That's so bizarre.
That was very weird yourself.
You guys are all weird.
No.
So I'm talking about adults who engage in...
And notice how Ian and I think it was Seamus or there was somebody else, how they're like laughing. Ian Crossland is like the liberal of the Timcast. He's the hippie guy. And even he's like laughing his ass off at like, is this guy fucking serious? And it just cut to like 2 or 3 of them. Like fucking, is this guy serious? I mean, yeah.
Activities, which is a large portion of the global economy, whether you like it or not. Sure. Sex sells, they say. And when I say this person will never have this ability, you go, how weird is that?
It's weird for you to fixate on a stranger's genital pleasure. That's strange. That's so bizarre.
Well, oh, God, he's just trying to spin it around to him, Tim, being like, you're focusing on a stranger's genitals. It's like you're trying to cut their genitals off, you fucking douchebag. And again, does he believe what he's saying? Is he that brainwashed? Or is he one of the people on the top that knows what he's saying isn't true and he's just trying to bring this demonic horseshit lizard people shit down on us? Did I say lizard people? I gotta cut that out.
Public about it.
But see, you're not making an argument right now, is my point.
I'm not. I'm saying it's weird. It's not an argument.
Yeah,
hey, it's weird. It's an argument. You got no argument. Now you look at this guy.
That's an observation.
So you're trying to make an appeal to emotion and an appeal to shame.
I'm just giving you my genuine thought when you say something like that. Like,
well, it was a really fucking pathetic attempt at trying to make an argument.
Why should we talk about that? Why should we discuss whether or not she has genital feeling? That's not important. It's not. It's not in my business.
So let's focus then on the sterilizing of the individual. Are you okay with that?
Who's sterilizing people?
Jazz Jennings is sterile.
Why are we going back to Jazz Jennings? I don't know anything
famous.
about her.
Because Jazz is...
God, he's fixating. Why do you know about Jazz Jennings? I don't know anything about her. She's a case that is an example of what we're talking about, you fucking lying douchebag.
Is a famous individual on cable television.
So if she is sterile for whatever reason, what does that have to do with me?
What does that have to do with me? You fucking... God, dude. What does that have to do with me? Well, then the whole fucking world can just burn. What does that have to do with you, you fucking loser, you fat, greasy piece of shit?
Why does that concern me? Why should I pass legislation?
The sterilization of teenagers.
This is such a weird way to frame this. Like,
you are removing
this guy should be... I'm not going to say it.
Teenagers' ability to have children.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not a doctor, Tim.
I'm not a doctor. Oh, that's what that bitch that now she's a Supreme Court. I'm not a biologist. I can't say what a woman is. These people are so off the rail, full of shit, hypocritical, and I honestly, I don't think any one of them believes anything that they're fucking saying. This
ability to do this.
Fucking douchebag. I don't think he believes anything he's saying. And he just pivots and he just moves things around to different things and like completely diverts and I'm done. I'm not going to listen to no. The main point was getting back to and we're going to go back to the driftless area and get peaceful here because if you've made it this far, we're doing good. Okay. My main point was part 1, how you can tell somebody doesn't have a soul by looking in their eyes. And the moral of the story was here when you can see Tim, when he says that was weird, I could look in his eyes and tell Tim was a real honest to God guy. And he might be not that Christian or whatever, but I can still tell Obi-Wan Kenobi level. I can tell Tim Pool has a soul. And he's on the good side. And with that being said, I'm going to leave you with this.